Today, I'm sharing with you my 5 favorite cheap but reliable wheel strategy stocks. Let's go. Yo, what's going on, Premium Chasers? I hope you're having an absolutely God-blessed day. I've got something special that I want to do, but this is only going to work if we all work together. I want to launch a video tomorrow or the next day, depending on how many comments we get on this video, but I want you to tell me what your favorite wheel strategy stock is or favorite stocks to trade options on, and I want to compile a massive list in top sequential order of those top stocks. So if you want to be part of this, just drop a comment. I'm going to organize it all, and then hopefully over the next day or two, I'm going to launch a video of some of our favorite community wheel strategy stocks. So drop that comment, and while you're down there, please hit that like button and that subscribe button. It really helps us reach more people with this amazing message of selling options. Let's go over the shoulder. First and foremost, I got to talk about American Airlines first. Listen, when I'm bored, when I got extra collateral sitting on the sidelines and I just need something to do, right? I always go back to American Airlines, and this one holds a place in my heart because it's one of my first stocks about 7 years ago when I started selling options that I really was doing a lot of and learning. It was like my training wheels, and just because it was a training wheel stock doesn't mean it still isn't one to this day. And the reason I love this stock so much, it's because it doesn't do much, right? And believe it or not, right, we as option sellers, we don't need stocks to do a lot. Like, even if we look at the past 5 years, we are pretty much right at the same levels. Yeah, sure, we had an amazing run up here in 2021, but, at the start of 2021, we are basically at the same levels. Now, believe it or not, that's good for an option seller. Why? Because look at this. Look at the Bollinger Bands here, right? We basically bounce off the top Bollinger Band, retract, right? We hit off the bottom Bollinger Band, we go up. Now, obviously, I'm looking at a 5-year chart here, but if I zoom in and even do, a 3-month chart or a 6-month chart, we kind of see the same thing. Now, of course, it sometimes blows past it, but that's okay because usually that time is short-lived. And guess what? You already know time is an option seller's best friend, but we're typically staying in this 200 to 300 day range, which for me as an option seller, those are key, absolutely key indicators for me that I like to sell my puts and my covered calls. So usually with my cash secured puts, I like to be around the 200 or 300 day moving averages to get, because I'm assuming I'm going to get assigned, right? And then if I'm selling my covered call side, I'm typically trying to go over my 200 or 300 day moving averages because those are key support levels. So, for example, if I'm looking at this chart here, now listen, I'm no Picasso of the candlesticks, guys. You know that. I'm no Picasso, right? But with that said, right, usually if I'm like, for example, right now is a fantastic setup for covered calls, right? I would do a covered call at, let's say, like a $14, right? Why would I do that? Well, I'm looking right here at like where we saw some resistance. So I'm looking here just in October. Okay, the most recent kind of high was around 1378. All right, I'm just going to go a little bit above that, do it at like 14. So most likely I'm not going to get assigned, and I'm just going to walk away with the juice, right? And then I'm going to see a retraction back. And also, I am above my 200 and 300 day moving averages, and we're working towards that top Bollinger Band area, which ideally is a great time to sell our covered calls. And that's how I usually like to think of these with these kind of boring, cheap stocks. A lot of these, like, again, some of them will go into some of the more risky ones, but a lot of them don't do much, right? So even if you get assigned, like the only way you F yourself in this situation is if you don't know what you're doing. And that's why I always say education is key, guys. I can't stress it enough. Education is key here in tracking everything for yourself. Because, for example, if you got assigned here at like 1350s or 1377s, yeah, like you might be stuck holding that bag for a minute. But if you know what you're doing, you've been in the game for a little bit, you educate yourself on this, you already know we ain't getting assigned at 1350. We're not selling puts at the all-time highs. What's wrong with you, right? We sell puts when we're working our way towards the bottom Bollinger Band, when we're heavily oversold on the RSI. Obviously, RSI being 58 right now in American Airlines, this ain't the time to be doing no cash secured puts unless you really, really want to own this stock. But in American Airlines, old reliable, I already know this one ain't moving that much on me, so I'm not playing with cash secured puts. Cash secured puts are in this bottom half of the Bollinger Band. Covered calls are towards this top Bollinger Band, at least for me. Now, obviously, these constantly changes, but for the most part with American Airlines, that's how I like to play. Next one has started to become one of my absolute favorite stocks. You guys know I'm a boring investor. I am. I consider myself a very boring income investor. I love stocks that and companies that own lots of brands. It gives me a sense of that diversification, right? Procter and Gamble's, J&J's, SJM, right? I like those kind of companies, and Kenvue being one of those as well. Now, obviously, we made some nice gains on on Kenvue here recently after they were acquired. But with that said, it is still a fantastic stock because we are still below the 200 and 300 day moving averages. Now, with that said, obviously, you kind of have to look at the news that's come out around any of these stocks, guys, right? Because this is kind of skewed, right? There was a lot of bad news that came out about Kenvue, right? And then also all of a sudden they got acquired by Kimberly-Clark, and there's a whole bunch of good news, right? So, you kind of have to be in the know a little bit with what you're trading, and you absolutely should always know that. So with in this kind of situation, I'm kind of, again, this is why I'm sharing this, because again, it's just experience, and you'll get that over time. That's why I always say, do this for a year. You're going to be put in a whole bunch of situations, and you're going to be light years ahead. But like in a situation like this, for me personally, right? I already see I'm well below my 200 and 300 day moving averages. I know there's great things to come for Kenvue. That's my personal thesis that I built around the company. You got to go make your own. So for me, even though we are 60 on the RSI here, right? I would have no problem selling puts right now on Kenvue. Right, just because we're at the top towards that top Bollinger Band area, right? I still wouldn't mind, because we're still below our big moving averages, our 200 and 300 days, right? And right, we are still, I still want to own the stock, right? Because I do believe I think it's going to be a while before we, cross over, our all-time highs again. But I do believe in the company long term. So in the situation like this, I would still be doing it. Now, with that said, in a situation like this, like, where am I looking, right? Where am I looking? Well, let's go take a look at the options chain. I'll show you guys if I was going to do this trade. You guys saw I did do this. I traded this company a decent amount on our public portfolio on the trade log. Another update, guys. So obviously I've been doing a lot of trading this week, but with that said, I did make an update to the trade log. You will see a new tab there called the weekly wheel, because all this stuff was starting to get a mess here, and I was like, you know what, guys, I want to be as transparent as I can with everything I have here, genuinely. And when I had the 5K portfolio, I was starting to put my weekly wheel stuff in there, and it was throwing everything off. It was throwing it off, and I don't want you guys to be like, wait, what, Pete? Like, how are you doing all these SoFis, but you only have 5K? So I basically created a new tab here, and this is going to be my weekly wheel on SoFi primarily, okay? So you'll see that. If you want this full trade log plus my calculators, attend the Ark Options Strategy workshop. Perfect if you're a beginner or a veteran. Because this, at the end of that training, you're going to get this stuff and so much more. So yes, just note that there are some additional changes to the trade log. Just wanted to quickly let you guys know that, because the data was starting to get all messy. All right, let's get into the next stock. All right, Ford, another one of my absolute favorites. Now, with that said, Ford has been on a bit of a tear here recently. I'm the first to tell you here right now. I have not traded Ford in quite a little bit of time. I think we only took one trade on this in the public portfolio in recent months. But with that said, I do think it's a little hot for me right now, and the premiums just aren't ready for me to jump back into it yet, unless I really want to own it. But right now, I've been kind of just not necessarily in it. I've been more focused on some other stocks. But with that said, I'm always watching Ford. I'm always watching it. Why? Because you already know I love the dividend payers, guys. One of the pillars of the Ark Options Strategy is to do this primarily, if possible, only on dividend paying stocks. That way, we take assignment, and we're collecting covered call premiums monthly or weekly, and we're collecting the dividends. And then on the cash secured put side, we're earning interest on our collateral while we wait to buy those stocks. So we're essentially kind of like getting that interest payment of around 4% currently, in addition to the premiums. Listen, we take it to the next level here. That's what we do with this strategy, which I believe is simple, but also you can over-engineer the crap out of this. But with that said, on like a Ford, if I look at the Ford chart right here, I'm not doing this one, right? I'm not going to be able to get the premiums that I want here on like a Ford, right? There's just not a chance that I'm going to be able to get any sort of decent premium here on Ford. Let's just go take a quick look. Even if let's just go out a little bit further. I'm just going to go 37 days out. See, the 13s, I mean, 12s aren't. See, the thing is, I want to be closer to those moving average, to those key moving averages. This wouldn't scratch the itch that I need. So in a situation like this, Ford, I look at it, I look at the premiums. I can't really get now around the 200 and 300 day moving averages. I mean, I can get around the 200 day moving average a little bit of something, like $8 on $1,100 in collateral. But in my opinion, there's much better opportunities, at least in my opinion. But if you like the stock and you're getting your feet wet, there's nothing wrong with going, going far out like that, right? That's only a 0.07 delta, which is insane. Only a 7% chance of assignment. So here in the situation like this, to really make it worth it, you're gonna be playing closer to money. You're gonna be playing at these 25 deltas. You're gonna be playing at the 13 deltas, which again, that's a very much higher risk of assignment. When in my personal opinion, I do believe that Ford will eventually have a pullback. I'm just saying. I feel like it's going to have a pullback, but back towards its 200, 300-day moving averages. Next one is Fiverr, another one of my absolute favorite ones. Have traded this one on the public portfolio as well. Look at the bounce that it's had here recently off its bottom Bollinger Band, and this is why I love trading primarily with the Bollinger Bands. I also obviously have my key 200 and 300-day moving averages. I have my RSI, and then also I have been playing around a lot with my volume profile indicator as well. I'm not going to get into all of that right now, but stay tuned. I'll do some videos. I don't know why it's not popping up there in the indicators for whatever reason, but whatever. The point is, Fiverr also has a fantastic premiums. I've been doing a lot of 19s on this recently, so let me go show you guys. Now the premiums aren't as insane as like if you're doing like a weekly SoFi wheel, but they're still damn good in my opinion. Now, the thing about Fiverr is obviously you're going to have a lack of expiration date, so you kind of have to time this one a little bit better so you hit at that 30-day mark. But even if you look at the 23s, 23 days out, 19s, right, or the December 19th, right, you could see the 19th. Interesting. What is going on here? What's up with this options chain? The hell? What is this is why Robinhood sucks. Why is that the same premium? The market is open. I have no idea what's going on with my brokerage account here. But you can see $30 of premium on locking up 1900. Let's see what kind of return that is. I have no idea if that's even correct, guys. You're gonna have to go do your own research on that. But it sounds about right. 33 on $1,900 of premium. I don't know why I'm sure Robinhood is now 1.74% return, which is not bad in the space. That's probably the correct one in a 23-day period. But something up with Team Robinhood over there, guys. I have no idea what's going on with that. But Fiverr has been really good to me over the years. Really like their business model because I use it, guys. I don't know about you. I love using Fiverr so much. And Upwork as well. But that one's a little bit slightly more expensive, or right around the same. But Fiverr has been the one I've traded a lot more than Upwork. The premiums have been better. But obviously the lack of expiration dates makes it not the best. And then last one, and I would say this one is the most risky on the list, and that is Snapchat. On our trade log, you guys have seen that we have traded this one a lot over the past few months, which has been a fun ride. But all rides we got to get off, right? And you could see this nice, beautiful bounce off the top Bollinger Band. It went right over its 200-day moving average and started coming back down to reality. And that's why I trade on these very basic technicals. I'm not a day trader, nor would I ever want to be. That sounds like a place that I never want to go to. But let's go take. I don't know if the options change. Something's going on over at Robinhood this morning. Markets open, so I have no idea what's going on. Let's go take a look at the premiums. Obviously a lot more options. We don't actually 26th is fine. Again, the premiums just haven't been as this one's not bad. Let's see, 13s. Bid ask spread is real tight on that one. 13, and what we're locking up $700. About 2% return. See, if I'm taking high risk plays like on a Snapchat and stuff, I'm pushing higher, right? And you guys saw me do that. Like if you take a look at some of my Snapchat plays that I did here, I mean, they're all over a 2% return. This one was for the 750 puts that I ended up getting assigned, and then I ended up selling those for $8 here. Then I did the $7 put, 2.62% return on my collateral here, and then I also had another cash secured put, 3.6% ROI on collateral for the 650s. Now, this is a lesson. If you guys remember, if you're a follower on the channel, why did I get such a juiced up premium? I took a risk. I traded during earnings week, and that's what earnings week usually gets you. Guys, please drop a comment. Some of your favorite stocks. What are those? I want to compile a list and rank them by how many people voted for each. I'm going to put a video together showing all of our favorite community wheel strategy stocks, options trading stocks. I think it's going to be super fun, but I can't do it if you guys don't help me out. And also make sure to attend the Ark Options Strategy workshop, guys. That is going to get you my full trade log that has my weekly results here from my weekly SoFi wheel that I'm running, plus my 5K challenge. And then also you're going to get my premium calculators as well. Plus you're going to get to spend 2 hours with me. You're going to spend 2 hours with me, bro. What else are you going to do on this holiday, right? Definitely not as hanging out with me. That's for sure. No, but also, just click the first link in the description of today's video, guys. Remember, sell options, collect premiums, repeat. I'll see y'all tomorrow.